This is now example number 3. Based on the given problem, a 25-foot ladder rests against the side of a house. The foot of the ladder is 10 feet away from the house. How high does the ladder reach from the ground? So obviously, in this given problem, okay, it shows what we call a triangular diagram. Okay, let us now proceed to our the mnemonics in order to solve this problem. Okay, remember the word, the mnemonics ayatse. Okay, step number 1, identify. Identify the unknown variables in the problem. Is the height, no, it is referring to the height of the top of the ladder from the ground. Step number 2 is to assign. Let h be the height of the top of the ladder from the ground. D be the distance from the house. And C is for the length of the ladder. Proceed to step number 3. Number 3 is to translate. We're going to translate mathematical statement into mathematical equation. And later on, we're going to, okay, make a diagram, okay, in order for us to better understand the problem. The situation models a right triangle. In a right triangle, the square of the length of hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the length of the legs. Now, in illustration, we're going to have a right triangle. So this is an example of a right triangle, whereas the two legs or the legs of a right triangle forms a 90 degrees angle. And we have the given values. C is referring to the hypotenuse of a right triangle. That is equal to 25 feet. And D is referring to the distance of the ladder away from the house, or from the bottom of the ladder and from the bottom of the house, which is equal to 10 feet. Now we are looking for the value of the height. Next, step number 4 is to solve. We're going to substitute the known values in c squared is equal to h squared plus d squared to solve for h. Then, the formula is c squared is equal to h squared plus d squared. Substitute the values for c and for d. Again, the unknown variable is the height of the house. Then, to simplify, 25 squared is equal to 625 equal to copy h squared plus 10 squared is equal to 100. And then, by subtraction property of equality, we're going to transpose 100 on the other side of the equation. Therefore, by subtraction property, we're going to subtract 100 on the both sides of the equation. Minus 100, minus 100. 625 minus 100 is equal to 525. Then, on the other side of the equation, just simply write h squared, because 100 minus 100 is equal to 0. Now, as you can see, based on the given quadratic equation, we can apply one of the method in solving quadratic equation, and that is through extracting the square root. Extract h squared and 525. Just simply put a radical sign on both sides of the equation. 525. The square root of 525, as you can see, this is not a perfect square number. So all you have to do is to think about the factors of 525, whereas one of the factor is a perfect square number and not a perfect square. So therefore, 525 is factorable or has a factor of 25 times 21. And simply the square root of h squared is equal to h. 25 times 21 is equal to 525. Therefore, the square root of 25, that is equal to positive negative 5, square root of 21 is equal to h. Then, we're going to find the values of h. We have two values respectively. H is equal to 5, the square root of 21, and h is equal to negative 5, square root of 21. Then, last step is to express the height from the ground is a non-negative real number. So, h is equal to negative 5, square root of 21 is an extraneous solution. Just what I have said earlier, you're going to pick one of the solution, whereas one of the solution is a positive real numbers or a positive radical expression. Therefore, the ladder reaches h is equal to, pakitake note na lang, that is not negative, positive 5 square root of 21 feet from the ground.